Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
We're just an epic duo in love. Those reacting to some epic rap battles of history.
Yes, we do.
So, a new one came out, Napoleon versus Charlemagne. So we're going to check that out. And the way we do this is that we are going to watch it the first time just straight through, not going to stop it or pause or anything, and just laugh along with everybody else. And then after that, we will stop it after each round and say who we thought won that round and then who we thought won overall.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Charlemagne! Who's the conquering king par excellence? Who fathered his own renaissance and gave birth to fun? It is I, Charles the Great, son of Pepin the Short, tortured this overblown war, horny backwards forcing course again. The Pope died, saved the Holy Roman Empire, established it. It lasted 1,000 years until you pranced up and savaged it. Your campaigns are too elaborate. Your bubble-loving empire popped like an avalanche. I struck the fear of God in every land I take, leaving pagans quaking, making them do the Charlem shake. The bloody verdict of this battle has already been decided. Like the love between you and Josephine is one-sided.
Charlemagne, you Queen's Carolingian charlatan. I'm the genuine article military artisan. Your clanky old suit of armor, a bomber, the janky monarch of the Franks and the Lombards. Your joyous sword tore hordes asunder, but was a bit more hardcore. Now the deals have 4 numbers. That is canister shot, and you receive those balls when I blast you with my 12-pounder griever balls. Corporal, here to get my groove on. Even if I lose, I come back and get my cool on. I'll subdue you brutally like a royalist in Toulon. I'm the smoothest French thing in Grace seems poop on.
Let's flow! You can't quite rock it! That must be why you keep your hand like that! No pocket! You are nothing but a whiny little egotistic swine! You got sunk by a Brit with a bullet in his spine! The Russian debacle was even worse! You got beat by lice! You should have been listening in elementary school math! You can still place my name next to God! Charlemagne! Pretend to Moscow and retreat from these flames!
Kept a violent poison around my neck in case of capture, and I almost just drank it. You are that bad of a rapper! Thank you with E! Your loss is real because E! Like the Alps in winter with your pregnant wife, you shouldn't cross me! When I conquer, I don't need a pumped hand. I grip a diamond drift hilt and put your crown on myself. The only throne you belong on is the latrine. You might be king of the Franks, but you can suck beans.
Holster! Don't get hard! Follow the veteran!
The Alps.
All right. Now we're going to watch it again. You ready?
Sure. This is really pointing out my ignorance in these 2 areas of history. I'm like,
Okay, at least I'm not alone. At
dang.
least I'm not alone in that. I'm like, man, I felt like 90% of this shit went way over my head. Maybe like, that's why I need another watching of this. I'm just like, hopefully maybe I'll catch more stuff in this time. I felt like it went way too fast.
Yeah, like I've heard references to Charlemagne, so I was like, oh, I think I have some sort of like loose understanding.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was not going to know enough about him. But I kind of felt like I knew a bit about Napoleon. And
Yeah.
then, no, not really.
Charlemagne! What's up? Napoleon! Who's the conquering king par excellence? Who fathered his own renaissance and gave birth to fun? It is I, Charles the Great, son of Pepin the Short, tortured this overblown war, horny backwards forcing course again. The Pope died, saved the Holy Roman Empire, established it. It lasted 1,000 years until you pranced up and savaged it. Egypt, Haiti, Spain, your campaigns are too elaborate. Your bubble-loving empire popped like an hammerhead. I struck the fear of God in every land I take, leaving pagans quaking, making them do the Charlem shake. The bloody verdict of this battle has already been decided. Like the love between you and Josephine is one-sided.
Charlemagne, you Queen's Carolingian charlatan. I'm the genuine article military artisan. Your clanky old suit of armor, a bomber, the janky monarch of the Franks and the Lombards. Your joyous sword tore hordes asunder, but was a bit more hardcore. Now the deals have 4 numbers. That is canister shot, and you receive those balls when I blast you with my 12-pounder griever balls. A petite corporal, here to get my groove on. Even if I lose, I come back and get my cool on. I'll subdue you brutally like a royalist in Toulon. I'm the smoothest French thing in Grace seems poop on.
Oh, that
Oh, man.
I know. I saw it again and I'm like, the Grey Poupon one. What seals it for me just because that was like one of the few things that I actually understood.
I mean, I love Charlemagne's line about like your love with Josephine, it's one side. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I thought that was like that. I'm like,
No.
that was a great and savage dig. Like,
That was probably enough for him to take it.
so I was like, it's Charlemagne. That was a cutting
Yeah.
final line. He nailed it. Napoleon, the reason he's making it tough for me on this one is because, like, he clapped back, but he clapped back with kind of like absurdity. Like, you have you and Josephine, the love is one-sided, to Grey Poupon. And I'm like, wait, how are these in the same? Like, but Napoleon did a really good job. And so, like, he had a flow, and he managed to get there with that line.
Charlemagne, well, I mean, like, Napoleon basically said that, like, one of his digs to him was, okay, well, you conquer the world, but it was, like, a lot earlier in time, you know.
It was
like,
back when it was easy.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know, when there was just, you know, less people, less going on, less to conquer. But like Charlemagne, when he was like kind of like doing a good job of talking himself up and like everything that he had built.
True.
Like the, you know, and then that last line as well, like you said, with the Josephine one. Now that I think about it a little bit more, now I got like a second to digest it all, and not just the fact that I got the Grey Poupon joke. Charlemagne, I think, won that first round for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Smoothest French thing in Grace seems poupon.
Oh, that's flow! You can't quite rock it! That must be why you keep your hand like that! No pocket! You are nothing but a whiny little egotistic swine! You got sunk by a Brit with a bullet in his spine! And your Russian debacle was even worse! You got beat by light! You should have been listening in elementary school now!
I think that's our favorite line.
Next to God, Charlemagne! Now pretend to Moscow and retreat from these flames!
Kept a violet poison around my neck in case of capture, and I almost just drank it. You are that bad of a rapper! And I thank you with ease! Your loss is real because me! Like the Alps in winter with your pregnant wife, you shouldn't cross me! When I conquer, I don't need a pumped hand. I grip a diamond drip hilt and put your crown on myself. The only throne you belong on is the latrine. You might be king of the Franks, but you can suck beans.
I love Napoleon's just persona though. I mean, the guy doing for Napoleon's great. I mean, they're both a lot of fun, but
the guy playing Napoleon is particularly having a lot of fun with him. Yeah. I feel fairly confident in saying that Napoleon would be gravely insulted to see this interpretation, but from an audience perspective, it's great. Like, these are often caricature by the very nature of the epic rap battles, but like, here's where they usually are. And like for Napoleon, he's like up here with the caricature of him. Yeah. I think I'm going to give it to Charlemagne again.
Agreed.
Because Charlemagne, for the first half of the rap, he's talking himself up. And then for the second half of the rap, he's tearing down Napoleon. So I was like, okay, there is a strategy in his rap. He's thought this through. He's giving both sides of the argument. And Napoleon clapped back, but I didn't feel like his rap didn't feel as thought out or as strategic to like pick apart Charlemagne. And it seemed more petty insults, like you belong on a latrine, which, to be fair, that could be in keeping with the character of Napoleon. I confess my ignorance about him, but like one of the things you always hear about Napoleon is Napoleon complex, for small petty people to try and feel big. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, him coming back with kind of childish petty insults, it's maybe kind of in keeping with the character. Yeah, I mean, the whole elementary school nurse and lice and like him losing Russia, like because of that, like it's just that was it. That was the best line in the whole rap for me, the whole rap battle. And then so like Charlemagne again, like you said, seemed to deliver, like, pump himself up while also taking Napoleon down. And Napoleon's like best line kind of was about how he was such a bad rapper that he was going to drink the poison around his neck. Yeah, like that was a cool little detail to know about Napoleon that I didn't know. Like he kept that poison around his neck so just in case he ever got captured. I'm like, wow, that was like a really fun way to. I mean, if I was a history teacher, I'd be showing my kids this stuff all the time. Yeah. And it's like, that's a cool way to learn that. But the dig against himself, like, being a bad rapper, like, I mean, I know like this is a rap battle, but that doesn't really like hit as well because it's not like, Charlemagne was known for like rapping. That's the kind of insult that's the icing on the cake. Yeah. You still got to have the cake though. Yeah. Or just kind of meh. Charlemagne, he baked us a cake. Yeah. Baked us a cake. Served it. It's good. Yeah. Like the chocolate frosting. Way to take it like all the way home. Yeah, I appreciate that. Chocolate on chocolate. I don't want any vanilla in there, all right? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Just in case anyone's about to get me a cake. Let us know who you thought won down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Epic Rap Battle of History reactions, we have a playlist for you. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction, but just keep in mind that our reaction is definitely not definitive.